Yeah, what's good, y'all? I go by Digital Crates. I'm representing for HipHopSince1987.com. And I got with me one of the dopest upcoming artists out the West Coast, King Most Wanted, man. How you doing today, my guy?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, man, you represent so properly for the West Coast, man, coming out the IE. Maybe you could talk a little bit more for the people that aren't familiar. I lived in LA for 10 years, so I'm very familiar with the Inland Empire. But for the people that don't know you yet, maybe you could tell them your name, where you from, and how you got your start doing music.
My name is King Most Wanted. I'm from San Bernardino. I got started doing music when I was in junior hall when I was like 12, 13, and I was just freestyling, and one of the female guards came up to me and she was like you talking nonsense, but like you feel me, you know how to put the sentences together and rhyme right and like do this and that. So like I was just doing freestyles then, but I never even posted them or nothing.
Mm.
And then at 16, I started off just by posting little freestyles on Instagram and stuff. And they was telling me I'm hard. So I started making like songs in the studio when I met my manager.
Yeah, I mean, we in an era where it's not really so much what you're saying, but how you're saying it. It's the flow and the way that the rhymes go with the beats. And you got a really signature sound. I mean, it's a Cali sound, but it's updated, it's upgraded, it's new. Like it's something classic about it, but it's definitely something new. From the time you were freestyling to really getting going, making songs, how long would you say it took you to like find your sound and what you got going on now?
That's crazy saying that because that's like that was one of my one goals. Because when I first started freestyling, go cap, people was like, you sound like SOB a little bit, like you sound like the boy a little bit. And I started listening to him and I was like, low key, huh? So I just when I was in jail, I would do this on my chest
Mm.
and I would just make the beat. And that's how I came up with In My City. I was just in there and I was rapping it on my chest. And when I got out, I told one of the producers that's on the team and a rapper, MCM Raymond, I just did it for him and rapped him, and he just made the beat exactly like that.
Oh, that's
And
crazy.
that's like how being in jail, basically, just like having all that time to think. That's how I got my
Mm.
flow down.
He said, while you were in that process, how did you come up with the name King Most Wanted? What was the inspiration behind the rap name?
And when I first put out music, I was going under Big Money King.
Mm.
And then there's somebody from the Bay, I guess. He had Big Money in his name already. And I was like, I'm trying to be original with it. And I like for me, Most Wanted. I was just like, because everybody had Most Hated on their shit. And I was like, I'm Most Wanted. The cops
Mm.
want me, the bitches want me, the money want me, like
Yeah.
money.
When you was coming up, like who were some of your influences? I know you mentioned SOB, but who else was you really listening to when you was coming in?
Really, I really don't listen to nobody over here. Like I listen to Young Boy,
Mm.
like Billie Eilish, uh,
Mm.
Lil Baby. Like I listen to that. I listen to that type of music and some of the Detroit rappers too. I really don't listen to West Coast music like at all.
Yeah, Detroit, not just Detroit, but also like Louisiana, like it's all connected. You know what I mean? The West Coast and the down south sound is not really so different if you really break it down. But
Yeah.
Young Boy, he one of the goats right now. I listen to Young Boy
Oh
too.
me.
Like some of y'all young artists, it's like I give y'all more credit than a lot of other people. I think y'all generation is a lot smarter and in tune to what's going on in the world than like how my generation was coming up. And in your songs too, like there's pockets like here and there where you're speaking some real truth about what's going on in the world. But at the same time, you're having fun, it looks like. You know what I mean? Like you turning up and doing the thing. How do you balance that? Like when you hear a beat or come up with the song, like how do you like decide which way to go with subject matter?
Usually, like what I do in the studio, I play it like the first four, and I just get my first four down, and what
Mm.
like I just go on it like for me, however I'm feeling in the moment is how I put it on the song. Like whatever I'm feeling, it don't matter. Even if I'm making a love song, if I want to talk about like some other shit real quick, I'm gonna spit that real quick on the
Yeah.
same track.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. You got to go with what's going on in your life right now. For somebody that hasn't heard your music though yet, how would you describe it to somebody?
Don't listening to it around your mama or nothing. Like you feel me? Yeah, that
That's real.
that's really how I would like. You feel me?
And what would you say like separates you from other artists that's coming not just out of IE but out of California in general, Southern California in general?
that like I could really switch it up. Like I could do like any type, like a feeling or like anything. I talk about it all. I don't keep talking about the same shit.
And you got like a pretty big following on social media. I know on TikTok you go really hard. How do you balance all that, like being in the studio, working on music, living life, and doing social media? Like, how do you balance all your time? How does that go?
It's actually not that hard for me. It's pretty easy. I'm always on my phone no matter where I'm at. If I'm in the studio, like I'm on my phone. I can multitask. Like I could do a lot. At one
Yeah,
time, I could be thinking of a song while the beat playing and making my Instagram post right now.
yeah,
I'll do a quick TikTok video or something. Like I could do it all.
yeah. I've been following you on TikTok. You go hard on there. Uh, TikTok is really, it's like it's the new wave. You know what I mean? And y'all generation coming up, like y'all. I'm not saying it's easy, but y'all have access to this technology where, like, literally within 24 hours, you can have a lot of people tuned into what you got going on. But I know for you, it can't be all the way easy. Like, what's some of like the hurdles that you've had to jump over to get to this point?
The clearance is like I put out a song, High Power, and it like after like a week or two, it was going up. It was hitting like a mil a day, and I only got 3 days of that shit. Like it was hitting the mill for like 3 days. It was at 3 mil, and it just got taken down. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, why did it get taken down?
Yeah.
And then you feel me? That's when my people told me all about the clearances and all that shit. And that shit that was when I had to really step over because I was like, it was big.
Yeah. And speaking of big, I mean, that's a Biggie Small sample in that song, High Power, but it was also something that Biggie sampled, something I think from the 80s. What made you pick that beat? Like, what was it about that and Biggie and that sample that spoke to you?
I'm not even on cap. I was with my manager and he had played the song real quick. And I was like, what is that? Like, I didn't even know the song.
Yeah.
I really didn't. So I was thinking like, if I don't know this song, then there's probably a lot more people around my age group that don't know it. So I was like, I'm gonna bring it back for him. Like, I'm gonna let them know. Like, I just did it.
And y'all did that proper. Like, the video is so dope. I think you really paid homage, I think, in a good way to the classic record that is. When it comes to like other samples like that, like I know you got some other songs that got some flips. I know like that John that Missy and Timbaland used and some other stuff. Like, do you lean towards that kind of sound, like flipping old stuff, or do you like to have more original records? Like, what's your preference?
Like right now, I already had like 100 unreleased records, like that's regular. And like, you feel me? So I was tapping into that to just like, I like doing it. It's fun.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
agree.
like how I could deliver on it.
And like, yo, you've been in the game now for a minute. You've been going hard for a couple of years, and you're steady getting better and better. The videos is getting doper. The songs are slapping harder. Like, what keeps you motivated behind the scenes to like keep going with this music?
Like I've never had a job. I never had to apply to a job, and I really never want to. And music, I'm good at it, and like it's not a job for me. I love doing it. Like I love it. So that's what keeps me going. And I want people to hear, like, you feel me, what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got a nice catalog that's really starting to come together. But I want to talk about the song "Choosing" with AZ Chike. How did you link up with Chike, man? He one of my favorite spitters out there too.
He was already like fucking with me on a gram. He had followed me back and shit. And he was already fucking with me. Like we was already sending texts and shit. Like before we even got on the song, like we was already like he was telling me like come through and or do this and something. I'm like, all right, like you feel me? And then but we just never linked up. And then when I had made the song, I was talking to my manager and everything. I was like, bro, I feel like he'll come like hard on it because it's not one of his type of beats that he usually go for. But I was like, I think he could bring something on that shit. And so I sent it to him and he did it.
Yeah, he hard, man. And y'all collabs, you got a couple other collabs with him too, and they all just go so stupid. Man, let's talk about How to Ride. How did that Fast and the Furious mixtape placement? How did that come together?
It was crazy. I made this song. I was in the studio with Oos. He's the one who produced it. And he brings out like a different side of me. Like I could talk like differently on his type of beats. It's not the same like regular. It's not like, you feel me? We made the song. It was in the pile like I wasn't probably ever gonna drop it at all. And I didn't know or nothing. And then the dude from APG, he was like, we want it. Like that's what he told my manager. My manager told me, and I was like, How to Ride for real? And then when I listened to it, I was like, that shit sound like it'll go good with the Fast 9 track too. And so we got the contract, made it happen.
That's crazy to get a placement like that and then to keep it rolling. I want to ask you though about a lot of your songs, right? Start off with like either just the kick drum or like the kick drum stutter, like the stop and start, like that's like to me like your signature sound. Like where did that come from? Is that like your idea to like start the songs like that, or is that something that came from the producers?
Yeah, most of the songs that go like that, like I would have to tell the producers, like they'll send me the beat, and like some of them I wouldn't like, and the one that I do like, I would tell them like I need that shit in the beginning. Like I'll be FaceTiming them trying to make the sounds because
Yeah.
I don't know shit about it. I'll be like doom, doom, or like you feel me, I'll be making it and they'll do it. I like how I could deliver in the beginning. I like to go right when the song starts too.
Yeah, I mean that's epic. That's definitely your sound. I think people, as they hear your music, they're gonna expect that from you now. Like that's really like a signature thing. I love it. It's like a classic West Coast energy, but it's new. It takes a little bit of what was going on back in the day, takes a little bit of what was going on a few years ago, and now you got a whole new sound, a whole movement going on. Some of the homies that you rap with too, it's like all your styles blend really good together. Like how does it work? Like if you're in the studio working on a song, do you ever like hear somebody on there and you're like, I gotta get somebody on there? Like how does the process of doing collaborations and features work?
I do always like just like you said, when I'm in the studio, sometimes I'll even have the second verse done.
Mm,
Sometimes I don't, and I'll just be like I would already know the person I say that's the person that be on it. Or
mm.
and sometimes my manager either pointed out like I won't even hear it, but as soon as he said, I'm like, oh yeah, I hear it now. Like I hear it. Or I'll just be at home and I hear the beat and I'll already send it to the dude or whoever I'm collabing with. And I'll be like, we got to either get in the studio to do it, or you feel me? I send it, you send it back type shit.
Yeah. And it's like, yo, you got like a 1, 2, 3 punch right now. You got 3 projects out on all streaming platforms and they all fire. But you got another project on the way. What makes this next one different? Like, do you feel a different energy now in this next project?
Yeah, I got every feeling on there. Like every feeling that you could think of, I got it on there.
Mm.
Like it's gonna be that you could, if you feeling like a different type of way, you could play this. If you want to, like, you feel me, dance and get up and like really feel something, you feel me, I got that too. And I got stuff where like I'm just really talking about shit that happened. So this one, and this is my first album I'm dropping.
Mm.
So like I'm gonna turn it up.
Yeah, it's really your catalog is really coming together, and you've done a lot in a little time. In making this newest project, what was like your favorite experience that you could like pick out?
Well, most of the songs that are like on it, like I already had them type of shit. Like, cause
Mm.
like I said, I got 100 unreleased records. There's like a couple songs that I really like feel that I had a good, like, you feel me, experience in the studio making it and shit.
And what about like moving forward? Like, are there any collabs or features that you're really trying to get? Like, is there anybody out there that you want to work with? And it could be
Uh,
producers or artists.
Producers, I feel like I'll go hard on the mustard beat. Like I want to get
Mm.
on the mustard beat soon.
Yes, sir. What about artists?
Not really, cause I really don't know him like that. But
Mm.
like whatever my manager say, if I listen to a couple of songs, I'll be like, yeah, that would be hard. So I really don't have no artist in mind right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of heat where you're at. Cali, Vegas, Arizona is hot right now, man. Y'all are really, the rest of the country's starting to pay attention. That's for sure. Let's say you drop this project, right? What's like coming down the pipe? Like what's coming up like towards the end of the year, the top of the year? Like what do you have in store?
I was already working on another album, but I'm not gonna be putting that out next or nothing like that. But I was thinking I was just gonna follow up maybe with a couple singles, like two
Mm.
more singles. There's gonna be bonus tracks on the album too, so that's gonna be hard.
And what about like touring, getting around? Do you have any plans to like do shows, tours, anything like that?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be performing at the Rolling Loud LA.
Mm.
It's gonna be in the Dino too, so where I'm
Oh
from.
wow, okay. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, Rolling Loud, man. Shout out to Rolling Loud, man. That's like one of the main platforms that's really putting on for the young artists. You know what I mean? Like giving you all the looks that you deserve. Like that would be crazy to have you on that show. What about further down the line in the future? Like where do you see this music taking you in the next couple of years?
I feel like I'm gonna go far. Like I'm gonna go far to where I'm gonna start doing like concerts and shit.
Yeah. I could definitely see him lined up the block, man, to catch your show. Like the music is so high energy. I can't imagine putting all the different pieces of the puzzle together. What about like outside of music? Like as you go forward, like do you have any plans to do maybe get into movies, TV, anything like that? Anything else?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah, I do. I would be down to act or like at least try it out. Maybe start vlogging too or something. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I think giving the fans that extra look into what's going on in your life is just totally necessary. And you already got the social media following. So you start going hard on YouTube, they're gonna follow you there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I know your videos, like a lot of your videos have that like cinematic quality to it, like with the intros and stuff. Like I could definitely see you going in that direction. That'd be crazy. And the music itself is visual. Like I could see more of your songs in TV shows or movies and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. And then okay, so like yo, our website, right? It's a lot of people your age on our website, young artists, DJs, camera people, like young creatives that are tapped in. Like, yo, from where you're at in the game, is there like any advice you could give to them?
Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't expect if your check's not coming in right, like in a month with your plays and stuff, like you're not finna like get it overnight. Some people do though, like some people just have that one hit and it just like, you feel me? But like just keep working, like don't stop.
Yeah, and then you definitely had like a big hit, that In My City. Like, what do you think it was about that song that like took off for you?
When I was making it, my idea was I said I wanted a song that everybody could feel. Like I'm not making it just for San Bernardino. I'm making it like if you in the Bay, you out of state in New York, wherever, whatever city you in, like you feel me, you could say like in my city, it's your city. Like I'm saying it for all, everybody could feel it, and they felt it like in my city, where like because every city got their own issues, politics, whatever. Like you feel me? It's for everybody.
Yeah, that's a great record, man. Like I really love that song. That's gonna be a classic. That's like a future West Coast classic right there. And definitely like salute to you, man. Like I see what you got going on in the game. And I definitely think there's big things on the way. Before we wrap up, I don't know if you got any shout outs or any last words, but I want to kind of give you the floor. You can kind of say whatever you want.
Shout out my whole team, my brothers, Denny Whoop, my manager Ocho, my brother too though, my brother Buddha, Jello, GQ, everybody on the team, MCM Raymond, Dev, everybody.
Hell yeah, man. Well, you representing properly for the West Coast. I know there's a lot of people that's proud of you and want to see you keep going, man. So from everybody at our website to you, man, like salute, big respect, man. And maybe we'll tap back in sometime in the future after you drop this next project.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
All right, gang. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today, man. Stay blessed out here.
You too.
All right, peace.
Yeah.